Do you like cars? Do you spend hours online watching videos about these beasts of steel with four wheels? Do you eat, sleep, and breathe cars? Do you think about them 24/7? Is just about every weekend you have devoted to something car-related? If that sounds like you, then you just might be part of the Car Culture Nation.
Are you car culture approved?
3, 2, 1.
Ah, yeah. Hey, it's Car Culture Nation, and we have one heck of a fast guest on the show with us today. It's the CarCast podcast where we talk about cars. We talk about fast cars, how they're made, the colors, what made your dreams come true, all that good stuff. It is Car Culture Nation. This is the podcast. We have NHRA Top Fuel driver, owner, tuner, and FIA European Top Fuel dragster world champion Lex Joon with us. Whew, that's a lot to say, but he deserves that long title. He drives a long, fast car. We'll get with Lex right after this.
Hey! Whoa! Have you ever seen a cool car at a show or driving down the street or strip and say to yourself, man, that looks like a Hot Wheels? Stephen Piercy here for Hot Wheels Americana Series Premium Car Care Products. Yeah!
Hot Wheels Premium Car Care Products. Now available at your local independent aftermarket hot rod shops, accessory stores across the USA. Check them out at americanapro.com/Hot Wheels. All right, let's get into it. Hey, Lex. Lex Joon, NHRA Top Fuel driver, team owner, crew chief, tuner, and the man who laid it down never quit. Lex, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you. Thank you for the invite. I'm happy to be with you, and let's get this baby started and rolling.
Let's fire it up. So Lex is on the road right now. He is totally truck culture, and we are cruising with Lex. This is this is a spontaneous podcast, but that's how it works the best. So anyways, Lex, how did your season go this year in NHRA Top Fuel?
Well, we did only a couple of races because we are basically looking ahead, and we wanted to get the things straightened out and go. So we basically did 3 races. So we started at the U.S. Nationals, which was our first race this season, and basically without any testing, our first run with a completely rebuilt car. So after the first hit on Friday evening, which everything looked really good, it started to rain the next day, and so we were not able to qualify, which was a really bummer. But that's part of what you do. It's coming from Europe, I'm used to a lot of rain, and to be honest, I didn't see it a lot here in the US, because we always are racing in the type of weather and climate that it's always good. But yeah, that went really well. I ran it to the 8 mile, and we run personal best numbers. Clicked it off before the 8, still run the 395. Then we had some issues getting the car around, because the thing is this: what you need to understand, it's not only about tuning a car and get everything ready, but it's also about getting your crew up to speed. We still are building our program. One of those things is also building your crew. We basically learn the guys how to do it, and so we had some issues there. We could not finalize the last qualifier. But yeah, I'm really happy with our achievements. We also went to Bristol, qualified the car. Track is a little bit tricky. There are a lot of bumps in the track over there. There are some tunnels, and they give a lot of teams issues. For us, it's even more of an issue because we don't have a lot of data from that track. But I always love to go to Thunder Valley. It's one of my favorite tracks. So all by all, yeah, I'm pretty happy what we achieved, and we are focusing on 2022 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Had the chance to check out a few of your races, the runs and all that. Obviously, you're sponsored by one of our sponsors, Hot Wheels Americana Series Premium Car Care Products. That is a bad-ass looking dragster. We know, and the fans know, that everything's there. It's just a matter of getting the seat time and getting more partners and sponsors on the car. And hey, if you're listening, you can email Lex at lexjoonracing.com. He will set you up with the partner sponsorship, different levels they have available on the car for the 2022 season and on the entire team. So that's Lex at lexjoonracing.com. Am I correct with that email?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You're spot on. Yeah.
Yep. So that car's coming around, the crew's coming around, and you know what? You're not an underdog because you're world champion. Doesn't matter if you're in Europe or United States, you're a world champion. And highly respected driver, team owner, and individual, and as a person as well. You got a lot of friends out there that are rooting for you in the pits and in the stands and on television. So we definitely wish you nothing but the best, and see if we can come out and maybe do a podcast at the track this coming season. Obviously, it takes funding, and you're going to be running a limited schedule in 2022. We talked about that off air, and that. So, the last two races you guys ran, the car came around good. It was pulling, got out of the hole real good, and got up on the tire. Definitely headed in the right direction. And if racing was easy, everybody be doing it, right? So, you got some big names coming back into the sport. You got Tony Stewart with his new team. You got Tony Schumacher coming back. That was announced the other day with his new sponsor and all that. So corporate America's out there. They're looking for the opportunity in the team. And let me tell you something, listeners, if you're looking, this is the team to get on. This is the guy. His wife, Gerda's the co-crew chief on it and tuner as well. Great opportunity out there, first-class team. And it's about doing business at the racetrack, and this guy knows how to do it. Anyways, Lex, so let's go back to your roots. You're from the Netherlands, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, born and raised in Amsterdam.
Yep, awesome. So tell us about how you got into racing over there and started, with the cars and what led you over here.
Well, at a young age, I already was really impressed with American cars because we had some of them over there in the Netherlands. I always loved them. The fact that they were automatics, they had ACs, they had electric windows, and most important, they had those beautiful big V8s with the awesome sound. So I always was attracted to those cars, and yeah, it's. When I was 5-6 years old, I already took my the bike from my mom apart, and she asked me what I was doing. I said, I want to know how things are working. I always was engaged in technical stuff, so that kept going. And by the time I started driving cars, I really tried to get an American car, but it's not really expensive to buy an American car over there, but to drive them, it's really expensive. You have to pay a lot of road tax because they're really heavy and it goes on weight. And, a gallon of gas over there is close to $10. So to drive an American car over there, it's something else. Besides that, there are not a lot of people that understand them and want to work on them. You need special tools. and you need to understand them. So, but you know what? As you already said, I'm the never quit guy, and that started pretty early for me. So I kept going after it, and one of the things I started in was in fans, basically the customized fans, and I was a member of a fan club, and there were a couple of American fans, but most of them were just Europeans, and I love those American fans, of course. So I I was able. I started with an English Bedford, and I put a V8 in it, and yeah, that was really cool. You know, the thing was going 160 miles an hour. So, but you know, American cars were it. So I was able to buy a Chevy van from the American bookstore in Amsterdam. It was a bright yellow van. It was basically really ugly, but you know what? It was a Chevy van. It had a manual transmission in it, so but a V8 that was good. So the first thing I did, I took the transmission out and put an 350 automatic behind it, and then I started building it, and I turned it into a custom van. I really did a lot to it. It was at the end, it was candy apple red. The name on it was Eye Catcher. I raised it with really nice rims on it, tires. Changed the side door into a wing door.
Wow.
It had a marble floor in it. It had all kind of goodies. Well, I won a lot of prizes with it, with all kind of shows. But what happened is we also, with the fan club, we started to race at basically a piece of straight road, and I started to race with that fan, and you know that fan was way too nice to race with. So I thought, you know what? I found an old 60 Camaro at a farmer. It was sitting there in the grass with a straight six in it. I bought that one. I managed to buy a big block V8 here in the US. I put it in there and I started building it. And I put it behind the fan on the trailer, and I took it to the fan meetings, and I started racing with the Camaro. And there were a couple of friends of mine that liked it, so they did the same. So at the end of the day, we started racing each other with old Camaros and stuff like that. So the next step we made was like, hey, we need to see if we can make the next step with this. And there was a motor club in the Netherlands called Explosion that did some sprinting and drag racing. So we asked them if we could go with them and go do some racing. And that's how it all started.
Cool.
My problem is that I always want to be the fastest, and so yeah, you understand. I kept building and building, and I started building my own chassis. I had a national dragster, and I saw an Elston chassis in there. I didn't have the money to buy one, but you know what? By the pictures and everything else, I made one myself, and so built my own rear axle, built my own transmissions, engines, everything. And the cool thing about that is not a lot of people know, but I started racing in Europe with that Camaro, and I ended up with winning in the European Championship in the door classes with that same car. So, you know, it's a long story, but I always loved America. That's the bottom line.
You know, the Camaros always seem to be a favorite out there. They cut through the air pretty good. Obviously, Grumpy Jenkins, who had the Camaro and the Vegas out there. When I was in racing, we were able to. Jenkins was our horsepower. They were our supplier for our performance at Cagnazzi Racing, and you know, looking at that history, and you can go on YouTube and you can see the videos of Grumpy Jenkins with that big hoser cigar sticking out of his mouth, that M&M head helmet that he had on, and you can just see him grabbing those gears and really throwing them from the dashboard into the back seat every time he grabbed a gear. It just gives me goosebumps when I see it. And you just look it up, Grumpy Jenkins, you know, Camaro. Yeah, and you'll see it, man. I mean, and then you hear the raw horsepower of that V8 Chevrolet big block that he's cranking. It's right. So, man, when you're talking about that, I can just see you with the cigar hanging out of your mouth, grabbing some gears like Grumpy, man. Totally cool.
Oh.
But
Well, yeah, it's like things like that. I had a friend of mine. He had a hot rod coming in, so now and then. So I was reading about that. It's yeah, American car culture. It's for me muscle cars. Movies like American Gravity and stuff like that. I've seen them 20, 30 times. It's stuff like that. It's really gave me the goosebumps, and that was really the reason why I wanted to move to America. And we are living our dream now here in the USA.
Glad to have you. Proud to be working with you and knowing you as a friend and an associate. And I got to ask a question, and I'm not here to offend anybody. I just want to go, and I like to ask dangerous questions, right? So here you go. Do you think Americans take for what we have over here for granted, being motorsports? I'm not going nowhere out of that discussion. Simply car culture, right? I know we don't take it for granted. Maybe we just expect it because we see it all the time. So coming from the Netherlands, and obviously even down in Cuba, they have all these American cars down there, right? That are 56, 57, 55 Chevys and Pontiacs and Fords and Ford Fairlane. These things are, they might be a little bit, there's no rust on them, right? So they might be a little worn, but they're in fantastic shape. So, and I'm just thinking that, obviously not comparing Cuba and the Netherlands and car culture, but it was just, the thought came to my mind about the Cuban car culture down there and the way that the cars are kept. You guys don't have it in the Netherlands. You said you found, a 68 Camaro in the field. You got a Chevy van out there, so I'm kind of thinking you're a Chevy guy. Do you coming from over there and notice that there were some vehicles that you were lucky enough to find and you saw a vision and you did what you did with them? And then knowing over here, what you've been over here for as many years as you have, do you see it that, we take things, I don't know if for granted is the right word. I don't want to tick anybody off, but do you think we just expect it because they're here and this is what we have, or
well, you're used to it. So
yeah, we're used to it.
So you don't know any better. Right now, I see electric cars coming in. I see a lot of smaller cars coming in. I can remember back in the 90s when I visited the US. I always loved to see those American cars. Right now, if you look around, there's not a lot left. So maybe you're right. I know people will start more and more appreciating what happened here in the past, and sure, people need to move on. But at the same time, it's things are changing. But at the same time, like back in not even the Netherlands, but in Europe, you got a lot of American car clubs, right? You got them. Sweden, Norway, Scandinavia is really big about American cars. So
right.
There is a culture there as well. It's probably smaller because, it was always like if you wanted to import an American car, it was a lot of money. It was not only you had to buy it, so you had to go there to buy one, to find one, then you had to ship it, and then you need to pay the taxes, which is always, a thing. Then you need to get it licensed, which, it always started with all the headlights are not right, so you need to replace the headlights, right. And you need to replace all kinds of things to make it legal to be able to drive it. I think the bottom line is the people here that know about muscle cars, American cars, they appreciate them. I know a lot of people that do. It's pretty awesome. But nowadays there are a lot of things with internet and anything else. People are engaged too. So I don't know. It's to me. A big V8, like you just said, and the sound of it, and yeah, I like what I'm doing in motorsports, playing with over 11,000 horsepower. That's what it is. It's about the power, the raw power you can get out of a car like that, which I think it's unbelievable. And yeah, running a nitro car, that's really the other end. But if you just take a V8 nowadays on the street, see what's in the showroom. You can buy a car out of the showroom with over 1,000 horsepower. I know there are still people that appreciate that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm not too worried about it. It's one of those things. I feel pretty comfortable here because a lot of people are the same mind that I am, and they love the sound of a car, and they don't mind it's using a little bit more gas. It's that's what you love to do, and what you love to do. Okay, it is what it is. You cannot live just in a black and white world where everything is perfectly fine. You also need to enjoy some things, and I still believe people here in the USA understand that, and I still see a lot more freedom here to be able to work on things like that than anywhere else. So
parts are Parts are really readily available, but then with these parts warehouses, racing or just performance aftermarket accessory parts, they ship around the world, right? And over in Europe, there's companies out there that are online, and maybe they do, maybe they don't ship around the world. It depends who you're dealing with and that. But then again, shipping is definitely a little pricey. So being over in the Netherlands and that region, it's not a large area. What size is Netherlands compared to it's something in one of the states here in the States?
I understand it's the size is Maine. So it's not really big. There are living 17, 18 million people. So, it's pretty crowded. But yeah,
I know we talk. I know we talk about the car culture. You just mentioned, there is a car culture over there. There's one in Europe, and how I look at it is, we are Car Culture Nation. That's the show. That's our website. That's the podcast. But Car Culture Nation, it's about the global car culture. And thanks for the internet and our producers, our guests, and the history of cars, we can have this types of conversations about the global car culture. We are one car culture. That's it. It's what we do. Yeah. Whether it's Netherlands learning from the States, and whether it's from learning from one of our movies, or that's been out there for a while, or even newer ones, or if it's watching some of these shows that are out there, excuse me, on the History Channel or Velocity Channel, or even if it's on the internet. So there's a lot of really talented people out there, guys and girls alike, that are in the car culture, that are rebuilding, that are fabricators, body people, glass people, wheel and tire experts, performance, engine, under the engine, inside the engine, on top of the engine, keeping it cool, getting the suspension right, getting the brakes right, getting the exhaust right. Borla, Borla, you got Magnaflow. They just really put some good sounding metal out there, so it's just it's all part of the Car Culture Nation. And I think we had a little snapshot of what 11,000 horsepower sounds like when it's firing up. And when I was out to the track, I snuck my phone out and I recorded you guys firing up. How's that?
Yeah.
Sound about right?
Yeah. It's it is. There is people love the sound of nitro, and even better, they love the smell of nitro. Now that's something we cannot do here right now, but yeah, you boys and girls need to come to the track and
my eyes are watering. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to come to the track. Stop by Lex Joon's pit area. Say hello to the team. Say hello to Lex. Say hello to Gerda. They're very welcoming. They might even give you a tour of the place. So that's totally cool.
We do.
Yeah, totally cool. Yeah. And they got the cleanest car on the track. We know that. Thanks to Hot Wheels Premium Car Care. Let's just take just a little break just to talk about some of our partners. So this is the Car Culture Nation podcast. It's carculturenation.com. You can listen to it there. That website is being built and added to daily. Also like to thank Stephen Piercy's Top Fuel Records. You can go to officialstephenpiercy.com. You can check out his tour dates. You can check out his swag. You can check out his new shoe line. He's got a lot going on there, and he's got some music and sample music. Follow him on social media as well. And let's give Lex Joon Racing a plug. Lex Joon, what is your Instagram?
Lex Joon, Lex Joon Racing. Yeah, you can find me there.
And also same as Facebook, Lex Joon Racing.
Yeah, I got a Lex Joon Racing Facebook page. I also got a personal one, Lex Joon. But yeah, you can find me Lex Joon Racing. And you can find me on Twitter as well, at Lex Joon. So, yeah, you know, there are several ways to get me. If you need me, you want to talk to me, you have questions, I'm pretty open. People always tell me, my friends always tell me, you explain everything we want to know. That's pretty cool. You know, and that's what we do. Not only because we love to do it, but because we can do it. There are not a lot of teams out there, or say drivers, even owners, that really understand the car from the front to the rear. Something we do because, you know, coming from Europe, there is not a lot of help. So you need to really find and figure out everything yourself. And, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. And that's one of the reasons we were able to get it going this year, because we understand what to do. But yeah, if there are fans out there, just give me a holler and I will get back with you.
That's awesome. 2022 season, NHRA drag racing season kicks off in Pomona. Then it goes over to Phoenix. Then it goes to Gainesville. Then it goes out to Vegas. I think it hits Houston after that and such. But you can go to NHRA.com and check that out, get the schedule. You can also go to LexJoonRacing.com. Ton of great photos. You can check them out. You can even purchase some of the photos. Lex has some Hot Wheels Car Care, Lex Joon Racing swag on his website available. And if you're looking for a hero card of that Lex Joon Racing Hot Wheels Premium Car Care Top Fuel Dragster, he's got a couple. He definitely sign them for you and personalize them. And, you know, just pay for postage and you're all set. So Car Culture Nation podcast, we are on all the platforms out there. Like I said, carculturenation.com. We are from, you know, hand-painted pinstripes to flame-belching tailpipes. That's what we talk about here. And it's all being brought to you by Stephen Piercy, Top Fuel Records, Hot Wheels Premium Car Care, and our give back is the Jimi Hendrix Foundation. You can go to JimiHendrixFoundation.org. Check them out, see what they're all about. Great give back organization is for our soldiers, our veterans, and our first responders with PTSD, autism awareness. Great programs. They have Home for Veterans. They're doing a big hand sanitizer drive. We teamed up with Coachella. They teamed up with out there in Southern California in the Desert Palms, desert area, and the Indigo Polo Club. So they're doing a big distribution for hand sanitizer. If you're in the area, check them out, give them a call, get in contact with them out there. You can reach out to HeyJoe at JimiHendrixFoundation.org. They will respond to you for a donation request of hand sanitizer. They do have cases, they have bottles, they have different sizes out there as well. And they're definitely teaming up with a bunch of good organizations out there, and they're giving it out for free. They have truckloads of it. It was donated by Black Point Distribution and also from Walgreens to the Jimi Hendrix Foundation, and all hands on deck out there in Southern California. They are giving out the hand sanitizer and they're doing a great job at it. And it just started. So thanks for the folks at Coachella. Thanks to the folks out at the city of Indigo. They've done a great job, as well as mayor's office there and the Polo Club. They have a dog show coming up, so you might want to check that out. It's a pretty big one, because the CEO of the Jimi Hendrix Foundation has his dog out there, and he was telling us about the dog show. So, remember Lex, Jimi Hendrix, big car guy himself. So we'll be talking to the CEO, Joe Rosignolo of the Jimi Hendrix Foundation, about Jimmy's cars and his collections and his motorcycles and dune buggies and all that. On another show, and maybe we can have you sitting in with us, Lex. That'd be pretty cool to have that done. And on the Lex Joon Top Fuel Dragster, you do donate a space for the Jimi Hendrix Foundation, and it's very generous of you.
It's moving here to the USA, we found we really didn't know anything about veterans, but we learned a lot about it, and we made it one of our causes to help them. And, if we can make a difference somewhere, can give back, that's what we do. And veterans are one of the things we really are attached to. So I'm also helping out Save 22, that's about the suicide. It's not a lot of people know this, but 22 is coming from the fact that there are more than 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. We need to take care of, our people. It's one of the things we do, and it's really close to my heart. But really appreciate everything you do. It's really important to give back, and that's what we do.
Stand by. Let's get a little word out there for one of your sponsors.
Car care doesn't have to be a chore. Get the all-Americana car culture experience. Hot Wheels Americana Series premium car care products. Clean, enhance, and protect. Make your car's interior squeaky clean with Hot Wheels Trim Cleaner. Hot Wheels Trim Guard features a new car scent and high-level clean that's non-greasy. Give your ride a showroom shine with Hot Wheels premium car detailing products.
Now available at your local independent aftermarket hot rod shops across the U.S. and also at AmericanaPro.com. Who's that guy? Boy, I like his voice. Hey, we're back kind of live with Lex Joon and Danno on the Car Culture Nation podcast, available on all platforms. Our producers, our directors are doing their job. They're getting us out there. We're getting a lot of listeners. Thanks a lot for listening. Apologize for the gap between episode 1 and 2, but, people are busy. Like Lex, we got to get the entertainment going on here and big names and dig deep into the car culture. So that's what we're doing. But we promise we're going to get more on this early 22, and we're going to go ahead and hit another episodes coming up. Can't talk about who because we got a very large, big name coming up that Lex knows quite well, I believe. And he will be joining us on the next episode, I believe episode number 3 or 4. So, okay, it's Stephen Piercy. All right, there, we said it. So Stephen's going to be a guest on our show coming up here. And meanwhile, go check out his official StephenPiercy.com. Really entertaining website, really great show. He's got some good shows coming up out there in the West Coast. So go check him out if you're in the area. But Lex, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for educating us on the Netherlands and the car culture. And it's good to hear you guys love General Motors and Chevrolets over there and Fords and Pontiacs and all that good stuff. So Top Fuel season coming up. What do you guys got going on in the shop? Let's talk about that next 5 minutes.
Well, we are going through everything, basically taking the car completely apart, going through everything. Change some small things we wanted to change, get the engines ready, get everything serviced, going through the trailer, getting everything organized for next season. We will get some new crew in because 2 of my crew members left to the new teams. They come on, they really like our crew because they are really well thought, so they know what to do. The downside is that you need to start working with new people again. But the other end is it's part of what you do, and it's on me to find the funding to be able to keep the people and right now we are basically working from a voluntary with a voluntary crew. So one of the things you do over the winter is you teach them their job and what they need to do, and it's a pretty busy off season for us. And again, I'm also working to get as many races in as possible. That's more about the funding side of things. But it's for sure right now that it's more about the quality than the quantity of the races we do. Because we know we got a really good program going, and it's really important when we're out there, we're doing good for more than one reason. So and I know how to do it. It's fun stuff. But yeah, it's really busy in the off season. A lot of stuff going on, like you already mentioned. There's a lot of things going on in drag racing by itself. It's a really good momentum. Really excited about it, and next week we'll be in Florida talking with some people about the program. It's a lot of stuff going on, but it's really excited. I believe we will go into the really one of the best times ever. It's looking forward to it. So we need to be prepared, and that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
We're getting prepared for 2022.
Wish you guys nothing but the best. And off season is really not much of an off season, right? It's get ready season for 2022 and for the next year. So we wish
Absolutely.
you nothing but the best. Blessings and Christmas blessings for you and your family, and Gerda and the family back home that you can't be with. I know that's kind of difficult during these times around the holidays, but we're thinking about you and your family, and wish you guys nothing but the best. And may good tidings cheer, as they say. So be great. Absolutely. We will I guess it's time to wrap it up. We've been at this for about 40 minutes, and I'm sure you got to get going. I got to get going. We got a lot of stuff going on here in the holidays, and we're gonna wrap it up. So with that said, Lex Joon, thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of Car Culture Nation every day. Again, you want to check out Lex, you want to get in touch with him, go to Lex at lexjoonracing.com. That's his email. You can go to lexjoonracing.com and also get in touch with him there. Thanks a lot to Stephen Piercy's Top Fuel Records. You can reach Stephen at officialstephenpiercy.com. Our give back partner is the Jimi Hendrix Foundation. Check them out at jimihendrixfoundation.org. And that site's being updated as the days go on as well. Also, giving a shout out to our friends at Hot Wheels Premium Car Care Products. You can check them out online at americanapro.com/Hot Wheels. Big news coming from them guys. Going to talk about some retailers you can get products at. Meanwhile, Car Culture Nation, this is Danno. I'm out of here. Merry Christmas.